Back on, ladies and gentlemen, and Pakistan has gone to polls today. So these are visuals that we get you from Pakistan, from Pak-occupied Kashmir, and also from Jammu and Kashmir, where the proxy war continues and the enemy continues to use its devious tactics. And this time, the dastardly attack where Amritpal Singh has now been shot dead, and that continues in Srinagar, an unfortunate turn of events last evening. But the middle pictures, this is Rawalkot in Pak-occupied Jammu Kashmir, where Jaish cadre are seen walking around campaigning for polls there with guns in their hand out there. So legitimizing, trying to mainstream these terrorist outfits is one big concern. But along with that, as Pakistan goes to polls, we are given to understand, and this is the information that we have, that around 90,675 polling stations were kept. Largely the claim is that voting went on peacefully, but the complaint is that there is only one particular party that's being facilitated. It's not the general elections, it's a general election, if you were to say, in the little part of it, because the deep state seems to be controlling how voting would go. Nearly 40 to 45% voter turnout, but PTI and PPP cadre are saying their candidates were not allowed inside the polling stations, their voters were not allowed to go, cellular services have been disrupted altogether, independent candidates fielded by the PTI, they are saying they weren't even allowed to witness the ballot process. Accredited media journalists have not been allowed to enter polling booths. So that's what's going on. Sushant Sareen with us. We'll have Kamar Chima joining us from Pakistan in a bit. Dr. Ranganathan stays on. Sushant ji, so are the decks literally being cleared for Nawaz Sharif to come back? And does that change a thing for us?
No, it changes nothing for us. I think we need to be very clear on that. Incidentally, that wasn't an election rally in Rawalkot. That was, Pakistan's annual itch on 5th of February every year when they celebrate something they call the Kashmir Solidarity Day. And it's on that all these terrorist groups, which have been internationally proscribed, were, parading openly without any let or hindrance from any state authorities. So much for FATF.
Beg your pardon, that was not an election rally. I was on, it was my fault. Sorry. Our input also says that this was a rally that was taken in Rawalkot city. Thank you, Sushant ji.
But I think it's just as important to underscore the fact that there are a number of terrorists who are also fighting these elections and have been allowed to fight these elections when a bona fide political party has been virtually dismantled, but these terrorist groups and their parties have fought elections. They might not win too many seats, but the fact that they've been in the electoral fray is troublesome enough. Now, having said that, I think you are quite right that it's a general's selection which is happening, not a general election. And the fact of the matter remains, we are not entirely sure how much of the seats Nawaz Sharif will actually get. Will he manage to get a simple majority on his own? Will he not? Because the very, very initial results which seem to be coming out suggest that the PTI guys have been, all of whom are fighting as independents, seem to have put up a good fight. But apparently the turnout was very low, which means that maybe a lot of people haven't come out and voted. And if the turnout, we'll have to see what the final figures are. Pakistan's election commission is like somebody tweeted today, it has virtually nothing to do with the elections anymore. There's no data coming from them. There is no information coming from them. But the fact is that if the turnout is very low, then it means a kind of a no confidence as far as the democratic process is concerned, that nobody really trusts this process, that, people have voted with their feet. If the turnout turns out to be high, which I have my doubts, although, officially you could say that the turnout will be high because they probably stuff the ballot boxes late in the night. That's the normal modus operandi in Pakistan. And then they could come out in the morning with, these very fancy turnout figures. But if the turnout is very high and it's genuine, then we could see some kind of upsets also taking place. But I think it's still early days yet. Maybe the position will become clear by tomorrow morning. Because whatever shenanigans that the military has to do in stuffing the ballot boxes or changing the results, that happens at about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning.
But if you're seeing something where you're saying general selection, that's a nice coinage that you've made, Sushantji, on the one hand, and then what you said happened on the 5th of February. The inputs say that Mufti Masood Ilyas was there with the Jaish cadre walking around in that rally with the toting guns, etc. But Dr. Ranganathan, the FATF has been told by Pakistan that हमने सब साफ कर दिया. We've stopped everything. We are very good boys.
Anand, I'll be very brief because I don't want to get into the way of an epic confrontation that lies in wait for us. It's taken 6 years, but finally we have Batman confronting Joker. I think Mr. Chima comes along and we'll have Sujan Paji head to head. And I what happened last time they were together. So this is promising to be a fantastic debate. But I'll just say this. I'm perhaps the only time, Anand, I'm prepared to believe in Batman is when I see the kind of neighbor we have in Pakistan. कुछ तो गलत किया होगा हमने पिछले जन्म में जो हमें ऐसा neighbor मिला. The entire edifice of this nation is founded upon hatred for Hinduism and of India. From the Jinnah, the man who ate pork and drank alcohol, to Imran, the man who rubbed dal makhani on his chest to attract the female of the species, to the army puppet now. Pakistan has been run by scheming charlatans filled with supremacist notions of religious brotherhood and hatred for India. And the hatred became acute when Pakistan broke into two of its own internal stress. A nation that was based on religion could not keep itself together to even celebrate its silver jubilee. What more proof does one need that Pakistan is a rogue terror state when its sitting cabinet minister said on the floor of its, not parliament, but cave, and I quote, "Our big success in Pulwama is the success of Imran Khan's Pakistan. It is your success. It is our success," unquote. The rampant killings of Baluts, of Kashmiris in POK, the hounding and murder of thousands of Ahmadiyas, the bombing and killing of Shias and Sufis. Pakistan is a case study on how not to run a nation.
Anand.
Kamar Chima is there with us. Namaste.
Anand,
I hope you got the chance to vote, Professor Chima.
Yes, I got the chance to vote.
So that means, and your phone is working. So, but there are
ये
claims
कौन
being
है?
made,
It is
cellular
work-
services are down, voting नहीं करने दे रहे हैं.
No,
ये कौन है?
the cellular services are down, in fact, but the Wi-Fi is working.
So, but you were able to vote. Now, yes, Sushantji wants to say something and then Kamar Chima will come to you.
I just wanted to join issue with my friend Anand Ranganathan when he says that हमने कुछ गलती की होगी कि हमारे को ऐसा पड़ोसी मिला. He doesn't look at the flip side of it. He should be thankful that they're not part of your country, that they're a separate country. Imagine what these guys would have done if they were a part of this country. So I think we should give Muhammad Ali Jinnah the Bharat Ratna for getting us rid of these guys and can make a glorious India. Despite
Chima is getting rattled now. Mr.
No,
Chima is
it's not
getting
about rattled, but the fact is that Pakistan has gone to elections. Are they free and fair? Or is it a general election or is it a general selection? Kamar Chima ji.
Well, in the presence of these pseudo Plato and Aristotle, I would just want to tell you that Pakistan.
तू कौन है?
Pakistan. Let me complete.
Okay, let him
me
speak
finish
now.
the argument. These fake Plato and Aristotle from India, who have been trying to educate their people as if they are the only intellectuals left in India to tell what's happening in Pakistan and what's going on in India. Let me tell you, we had a very good election, and we believe that 130 million voters, they did vote today, where 56 million voters were young people, and it seems that the voter turnout is high, and the people of Pakistan trust the system, although we have seen some issues. The election process has not been always trusted. Even the politicians don't trust the process, but at the end of the day, they are the people who trust and they go and vote. And I think that's the beauty of Pakistani election system.
So all is well. So Imran Khan and PTI sources are saying झूठ बोल रहे हैं.
Well, I won't say they are lying, but definitely there are always issues. For instance, in the morning when the entire internet services or the cellular services were shut down, there were some issues which started. But you can't say the process is sham because in reality there were some terrorist incidents in Balochistan just yesterday. So we have seen in when there is a national activity or there is some national event in the country, the cellular services are always shut.
But
This is not the first.
wasn't the FATF told that there are no terrorists in Pakistan? You just
Well,
said
it is
there were
not just
terrorist
a question.
activity in
You know,
Balochistan.
it is not just about the Indian propaganda of FATF. FATF has another issue, but yes, the India has been sponsoring the terrorists to whom we have been countering for long in Balochistan. I think you rather
So
asking me
you're
this
saying
ask
that you have taken
from
control
Americans
of
within the
all.
law.
So Jaish-e-Mohammed is not there in Pakistan.
Well, it's
It's
not about
Indian
Jaish e
sponsored.
Muhammad. I think
Is
rather you
Jaish-e-Mohammed
should.
there in Pakistan, sir? Is it operating in Pakistan?
Sir, I'm not an expert. I don't keep track of all these things. But what I keep track of all these things
I'm
that
just
the
asking you.
Pakistani
I'm
state
just
is
asking you.
fighting
Is
with the terrorist
Jaish-e-Mohammed a terrorist
organization.
outfit or not? One, is
Pakistani
Jaish-e-Mohammed in
state is
Pakistan or not?
Pakistani state is eliminating all those terrorist organizations which are being supported by India. This is what I know.
So you are eliminating. Are you eliminating Jaish-e-Mohammed?
We are eliminating every terrorist organization which is a threat to Pakistan. Definitely.
So is Jaish-e-Mohammed a terrorist outfit and is Jaish-e-Mohammed in Pakistan? Two questions. You're not answering that question.
I'm saying that I don't know about their presence, where they are, where they will be, and who are they. But I'm telling you that every
You don't know
terrorist
about their
group,
existence at all. You
every
don't know.
terrorist
But are you
group
sure they are
who
not
is
in
being
Pakistan?
funded by India,
So
we
are you sure
eliminate
they are
them.
not in
We
Pakistan?
will eliminate.
You agree that Jaish-e-Mohammed is a terrorist outfit, right?
You know, I agree that every organization which has been declared terrorist by a Pakistani government is a terrorist organization.
Or if it is proscribed by the UN, it's not a terrorist organization.
Then definitely, if it is prescribed by the UN Security Council, I think then we
So
have
then
a,
that means
you know,
Jaish-e-Mohammed is a terrorist organization proscribed by the UN.
then the
So
Pakistani government should declare it. If it
correct.
is.
So if it is a proscribed organization by the UN, does it come under the FATF guidelines?
Well, I think the Pakistan has been dealing with the FATF, and then for that matter, the Pakistani
So,
authorities.
sir, I have some pictures of Jaish-e-Mohammed cadre and their commander Mufti Ilyas also. Where are they, sir? Are they in Pakistan or are they somewhere else?
I don't know. I'm not a spy.
No, it's not. They were walking in broad daylight.
Thank
They
God
were
for
they
that.
were walking in broad daylight with jhanda and they were carrying a rally on the 5th of February on Pakistan's some day that they are calling.
I didn't keep.
Perhaps
I
the
don't
only
track these kind of
respectability that
organizations and military. I don't
ISI
know
can
about
muster
that.
is that
I think you should.
Gawachina ji is
if
not
they
a
are
spy.
okay,
I think you are good in lying. You can tell.
Sushant ji, now कोई कह के भी नहीं कह रहे हैं या नहीं कह के भी कह रहे हैं. What do you
If
say?
Sushant ji is speaking, I'll just close my ears because I'm getting ready for.
No, don't worry. When Plato talks to Aristotle and Socrates, we don't use all these words. And I frankly, since I've been given the title of Socrates or Plato or Aristotle, I don't like to associate myself with plebeians. But Anand, in your case, let me just say a couple of things. Number one, this is being rather disingenuous that you don't know where they are, or you don't know if Jaish-e-Mohammed has been banned. It has been banned by Pakistan itself, and yet it's given a free hand, as we saw them openly marching technically not Pakistan. Technically, it's an occupied territory in POK. So yeah, maybe. The gentleman from across the border can take the lead.
That means Kamarchima also agrees it's occupied territory. It's not there, Sushanji. If it's not Pakistan.
Yeah. So, but Anand, on the Pakistan election, I'm glad that this gentleman finds that these elections were the cleanest and the purest and the most transparent elections in Pakistan's history. That this is the glory of democracy. If this is democracy, I don't think anybody would really want this kind of democracy, number one. Number two, can you imagine the kind of third-rate fellow their chief election commissioner is? They shut down the entire internet. They even the so-called Wi-Fi apparently has been running at speeds at which when internet came into India way back in 1996, it's those speeds at which apparently it's running. But the thing is that here is this chief election commissioner who justifies this suspension of internet services on a day when a lot of political mobilization takes place using the internet. He says that this has been taken for security reasons. What if a bomb blast or a terrorist attack takes place? Then who will be responsible? Now, if a terrorist attack takes place, despite the fact that you have shut down internet, who is responsible in that case? Now, the person who's responsible for security is already responsible for security regardless of whether there is internet or there is not internet. but they have blocked internet simply because they wanted to ensure that people who could be mobilized, people who could be motivated to go out and vote, people who could be encouraged to go out and vote, people who could get information on where their polling booths are, were all, a little hamstrung by blocking internet. Now, if this is their definition of what a well-managed election is, then I don't know what is a badly managed election, number one. Number two, if you look at, just go through Pakistani Twitter timelines, and that's just one metric on which to judge what has been happening. The kind of outpouring by people who say that in places polling did not start even at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Can you imagine an election in India where polling staff does not reach a polling station? Can you imagine in India something like that happening? It's inconceivable that something like that will happen in an election in India. And we have elections in constituencies not of 2.5, 3 lakhs of people. We have constituencies which are 10, 15 lakhs people at a very minimum, right? And yet, look at the seamless way elections are conducted.
So, Sushant we are a ballot punching Hindutva fascist regime, whereas they are a gun wielding, bullet firing, vibrant democracy. Please, we have to give them that, please.
No, no, that's true, because I don't know what world these guys live in. They have crafted out an alternate reality for themselves, and they think they're the center of the universe.
But Kamar Chima, do you know the result, sir? Is Nawaz Sharif the next Prime Minister?
Well, I think we have yet to see. It all depends upon the voter turnout. It is being said that if the voter turnout is high, let's say it's more than 60%, there could be some setbacks. And if the voter turnout is low, even then we have to see, because if Nawaz Sharif, it is being considered as some of the polls, although they are not credible, but there's a probability if he gets around 100 seats, then he will be in difficulty. But if he's in a position to make a simple majority, then he is going to be the Prime Minister candidate for the PMLN. But the entire political and the electioneering environment is different at the moment. So it's hard to predict what's going to happen in few hours from now.
Amazing. Such a long answer for a 3-word answer, which I was expecting, saying it all depends on General Saab. And it came down to such a long-winded answer where you said nothing but said a lot. Amazing, Kamar Jiva. This is something that is an art. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan, I have to wind up. See, he's doing a thumbs up also, being a sport. I really love you for that. Yes, Dr. Ranganathan, final word. I have to wind up, sir, after this.
I have deep love and affection for Kamar China Saab. Just one question. In his opinion, was Osama bin Laden a terrorist?
He was a terrorist. His party is a terrorist.
Where was he found?
To whom against the Pakistani military has been fighting. Yes.
Where was he found? Where was he found, Osama bin Laden?
He was found in Abbottabad, Pakistan, and so what is the...
near a military base, just like the Jaish-e-Mohammed is there in public security, in public eye, despite being proscribed and banned by Pakistan itself and the UN itself, and it is there on territory claimed by Pakistan, but it does not belong to it. So this plausible deniability, again, this is something which they are past masters at. Love to have this conversation and little more. Let's see what happens when the results come out. Thank you.